Hey everyone, it's Emily here, and today we're wrapping up our May mental wellness series with a conversation about self talk. All of us have a voice in our minds, and you may or may not be fully aware of it, but it talks to us all day long. For some of us, this voice is critical. For others, it's encouraging. Either way, that voice matters because the more we hear something repeated over and over again, the more we begin to believe it's true. For example, if you have the thought, I'm not good enough, and you repeat that thought over and over again, even though it's not true, you may begin to believe it is. It's important to remember that our thoughts are just that, thoughts. We may not be able to control every automatic thought that we have, but we do have the ability to shape our response to them. Instead of allowing negative thoughts to control us, we can acknowledge those thoughts and then choose a different perspective. I sometimes find it helpful to think of negative thoughts like passengers on a bus. They might offer information or direction, but those negative thoughts are not going to be allowed in the driver's seat. And if they get too loud, they're going to have to sit in the way back. In other words, my thoughts are allowed to exist. I acknowledge them. I allow them to be heard. But those negative thoughts don't get to choose the path that I take. If you are a person who struggles with negative self-talk, there are several things you can do. First, to combat that critical voice, come up with some positive and uplifting comments you can tell yourself back. For instance, maybe you say, I'm a hard worker, or I care about the well-being of others, or I stand up for what I know is right and true. Find something that you believe to be true about yourself that's positive and encouraging that you can repeat when that negative voice pops up. The second thing you can do is you can reflect on that thought and ask yourself, would I say this to a close friend? The truth is we are sometimes the hardest on ourselves. But our comments are not truly fair. To see if your thoughts need to shift, you could ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? And if the answer is no, you might be being too harsh on yourself. And lastly, just be patient and gentle. Challenging our automatic thoughts can be really hard. And so take your time as you go through this process. Instead of beating yourself up further for not stopping all the negative thoughts, give yourself credit for noticing them and then trying to change. Remember, you deserve kindness. I really hope that you've enjoyed this series and that you've gotten something out of it. Remember that the most powerful changes sometimes start with the smallest of steps. I'll see you soon.